What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What the Buck Wednesday. Now, today is really going to be a What the Buck kind of Wednesday. I'm actually doing this on Tuesday, so it really is like a What the Buck. But I'm going to be talking about something very different, something I haven't really talked about yet on this channel or really at all. I accidentally have the camera pulled up on my watch here. Hope it doesn't stop it. It did not. Okay. I'm going to be talking about something that I really haven't talked about before on this channel. I think I have briefly in a couple podcast episodes, maybe very briefly in a challenge or two here and there. I think me and Jeff went on a small tangent in our hour-long mukbang video. So my shirt might give it away a little bit. If you can see, this is a Dollywood Lightning Rod roller coaster t-shirt. I would not consider myself necessarily a coaster enthusiast because, I don't travel the world. I don't travel the entire world specifically just to ride roller coasters. I'm not probably never going to make it out to like the Middle East or, Asia, China, Japan, all those countries to ride all those roller coasters. I would like to eventually make it all the way across America and ride a majority of the ones in the US. Well, we even get up to Canada maybe at some point as well. But basically what I'm just going to be doing today is kind of talking about the little trip I went on this past weekend. I was going to do like a whole vlog, a whole trip vlog in general, make that What the Buck Wednesday or just a different random upload. But I was with my fiance and with my sister, and I didn't really ask him if I could. So, I also wasn't just going to shove a camera in their face or even, and I also just wanted to, enjoy my time that I was spending with them away from Erie, away from home, just enjoying the time off. So I'm kind of just going to be talking about the trip everything that we did, or the trip as a whole, and then talk about specifically where we went on Friday, which would have been the 22nd. We went to Six Flags St. Louis, and that was a lot of fun. A lot of good coasters there. We'll get to that when we get to that day, but specifically the trip started on Wednesday the 20th. My fiance and I, we left here about 12 o'clock noon. My mom picked us up, took us to the airport in Cleveland. We flew out of Cleveland and flew over to St. Louis. Our flight wasn't until like 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we ended up getting to the airport by like 3 because my mom had to be work by 5. So yeah, we literally spent about 4.5 hours in the airport just kind of bullshitting and sitting around doing nothing. I worked on editing another video that you guys will probably see this Friday. A really fun one that I came up with kind of last second, the day we were recording. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do this today and get it done with. But anyway, sidetracked. You'll see that video on Friday. So we just kind of hung around the airport for a while. I had never been inside of the Cleveland airport. That was only the third airport I really had been inside of, other than Buffalo and Orlando, when my fiance and I went down to Orlando, Florida last year. Which, again, that's another thing we could talk about at a future date. But yeah, Wednesday we got to the airport about 3 o'clock-ish, 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish. We stopped for lunch on the way, so that's why it took like almost 3 hours to get to Cleveland, where we're really only like an hour and a half away from the airport. We stopped for lunch on the way, and then we got there, So we're just kind of hanging around the airport. We're just walking around, make sure we can find our terminal, find our gate. Our gate ended up changing, but it was same terminal, same like general square. There's like 4 gates there. It just moved to like the one next to it. But anyways, not important. So we're just walking around the airport. I get a lot of the editing of this video you guys will see here on Friday done. And we get some snacks, get some food, and just kind of hang out for a while. Catch our flight, fly into St. Louis, land in St. Louis. Technically only like half an hour of time went by because of the time change to the Central Time. So we landed in St. Louis at like 8:10 St. Louis time or Central Time. So an hour and a half about-ish of actual flight time. My sister picked us up from the St. Louis airport. Then we then drive to our hotel it's about 20-30 minutes away from the hotel, or from the airport. My sister actually lives she goes to school over in Illinois, University of Illinois. Go Illini. So yeah, she met us down there, drove down there to meet up with us down there. So yeah, shout out Megan. If you're watching this, you're probably not. So yeah, she met us down there. We stayed in the hotel that night. We went swimming in the pool. That was a lot of fun. You can actually, not from our hotel room, but from our floor on our hotel, right out the window, you could see the Arch, you could see Busch Stadium, you could see the Energizer Stadium. I believe it's the home of the St. Louis SC, the soccer team, the MLS team, I believe. And yeah, then way off in the distance, you could see the arch pretty clearly. You could see like almost the entire thing. Just based on where it was, you could almost see like the actual arches coming down. So yeah, we just, then we woke up Thursday, and that's when my sister and I went to the Pirates game. My fiance just kind of wanted to stay back in the hotel, so that's what she did. She just hung out. She hung up by the pool, got a good tan going. So yeah, my sister and I went to the Pirates game against the Cardinals. Pirates ended up winning, was it 6-3, 6-2? Really good game. A lot of fun. One of like pretty much the only Pirates fans in our section, basically. I was like the only one in our whole section cheering, so it was pretty entertaining. Not a whole lot of Pirates fans there in general, so it's cool, really cool. I like being the outlier. I like being the minority of the fans there. It's a lot of fun. So a lot of angry and upset fans walking out of that stadium. So then from Busch Stadium, my fiance then took an Uber, met us at the stadium, and from our hotel actually has like a restaurant down below in like the lobby, or like right outside of it, that they actually offer tram rides for like $2 to the stadium. So my sister and I took a tram ride to the stadium. My fiance then caught an Uber to the stadium, met us outside the stadium. We then walked down to the arch. We were going to go up the arch, but by the time we had literally just missed the next tram ride up, and we did not want to sit there and wait for another hour for the next tram ride up. So we kind of just walked around. It's a whole national park. I didn't even know that, honestly. I just thought it was just kind of the arch. You can go up and go down. I did not know that it was an entire national park, as well as like a whole museum about the arch down in the lower level, down below. There's like a whole like a virtual reality experience thing. There's like a whole 3D movie or 4D movie you can watch. There's so much to do there, that more than I thought. And all we really did, we just went down to the museum, which the museum is free, which is pretty cool. So we kind of just walked around there, walked around the gift shop. We did get all three of us did get some like Gateway Arch t-shirts and stuff like that. I believe I could show you, but I think it's actually in the washer right now. So yeah, then after that, what did we do after that? I think we went back to the hotel, got changed and freshened up a little bit, relaxed. Went out to dinner. I can't remember the name of it's like a little dive bar, a little like restaurant bar area. A very locally known bar. Really cool little place, very fun little place. Pretty filling. You got like a little sandwich and like a side of mac and cheese or something like that. I'm giving you guys way too much information, but what the buck anyways. So after that, we went down closer to downtown, got into a garage, and we did the Museum of Illusions in downtown St. Louis. Maybe I'll flash a couple pictures on the screen here, just a couple of fun things that we did. Maybe just myself. Again, I'm not going to put my fiance or my sister's face out there. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff there. Pretty fun. That was a fun thing we did. And then we did this thing called Putt Shack. It's a giant indoor mini golf or putt, whatever you want to call it. Like there's like 4 to 5 different mini golf courses, 9-hole courses in there as well. It's like a bar, it's a restaurant. It's really pretty much imagine a Dave & Buster's, but instead of an arcade, it's mini golf. That's basically the best way I can describe it. Really, really cool. We did 2 9-hole courses. I won just because, I'm the best at everything. But no, I ended up winning that. And then we were going to go do something else, I think. But I think the third thing we were going to go do ended up being closed. So we just went back to the hotel, called it a night from there. And that is when on Friday, we went to Six Flags St. Louis. But before we did that, we were just going to go straight to Six Flags St. Louis at opening. They opened at 11. But we also wanted to do the St. Louis Zoo, which that one was free entry as well. I'd highly recommend going to check out the St. Louis Zoo if you're in the area and you have a couple hours to kill. Definitely go check it out. Definitely got to go see some penguins inside an actual penguin habitat. That was really cool. Really fucking cold in there, but really cool. So yeah, we did that in the morning. We left the zoo around, I think, about 11:30. Ended up getting to Six Flags about an hour after they opened, around noon. We're like, man, we're probably not going to get on much, but it's whatever. We have gold passes. If we want to come back later, we can come back later. Which, yeah, spoiler alert, I have a gold pass, so you might see some vlogs from either Cedar Point or Kings Island later on in this off season here, but be on the lookout for those. Yeah, we pull up about an hour after the park opens, around noon, and there's nobody there. There's hundreds upon hundreds of parking spaces still open. Maybe a grand total of only maybe 100 to 150 spaces taken. Like, it was dead. As you know, it literally walked right in. Usually you might have to walk through a little bit of a line or wait for other people to scan their stuff. No, we literally walked right up through security, right up to the gate, scanned our passes, and boom, we parked and got into the park within 5 minutes. Like, it was insane. So the first ride we did, because walking into the park, I had 74 credits. And I was in between if I wanted to make American Thunder, Screaming Eagle, the Ace Coaster Landmark, number 75, or if I wanted to go make Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, number 75. It's not a huge milestone, but it's kind of a cool, you want to make, 75, the silver or the bronze or whatever you want to call it, almost to 100. You want to make it kind of cool. So we ended up going to Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast to start the day. That's a fun fucking ride. That was really fun. I don't think I've done anything that was a backwards launch, unless you kind of count Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure down in Universal Islands of Adventure. I think there is kind of that backward launch right after you go up the spike, and there's kind of a backward launch on that one. I can't quite remember because we only get to ride that one twice. But everything we rode here at Six Flags St. Louis, we only rode once. So we rode Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast to start the day. Such a fun ride. I really wanted to re-ride it by the time we rode everything we wanted to ride. We were tired. We're like, all right, we had a 3-hour car ride back home to my sister's home back in her college town. So we went straight up. We had a 3-hour car ride after Six Flags to go back home. So we were like, whatever. So yeah, we rode Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast to start the day. Then we went to, I believe, what did we do after that? I think we went to Pandemonium next, yeah. Pandemonium was next. It started to rain very, very lightly, a very, very light, small drizzle. We went to Pandemonium. I think it was raining a little bit with us on the ride. That one's, it's fun. It's, your typical kind of like your spinning wild mouse, almost like a wild mouse. A little bit different, though. I know it's a clone. There's a couple of them around the Six Flags chain. It's fun, solid 5, 6 out of 10. It's not too thrilling, but it's fun. Then we went and did Rookie Racer, the new kiddie one. I think they added that in like 2023 or 2024. So still a little bit newer. For a kiddie ride, that's a lot of fun. Like, that's a really, really fun kid/family ride. Again, only maybe give that about a 6 out of 10. Mr. Freeze, I do give that probably a 9 out of 10. Just that backward launch is just absolutely insane. If it went from 0 to 70 in like 2 seconds, it'd probably be even more insane, but it was like 0 to 70 in 5 seconds. So it's still a fun ride. That backwards top hat and the backwards inversion is pretty intense, and then you go up the spike. And we were in the back row. I was in the back car, like the back row. You go up, and when you're going up that backward spike, you feel like you're never going to stop, and then it drops you, and you go back through and you do it facing forward. So much fun, such an amazing ride. Would love to do it again eventually. But we'll see when the time comes. And then we went to, and then after Rookie Racer, we did The Boss. The Boss is, The Boss is a rough ride. The Boss is very, very rough. It beats you up. Now, do I want to say that it's a bad ride? I'm not too sure. I still haven't made my decision if it was a bad ride. It's just rough. It's a lot of fun. That first hill, you get some serious speed on that first hill. It feels illegal for how fast you go on a wooden roller coaster. You get some insane speeds on that first hill. But then after that, it's just you're being thrown around like a rag doll. And I wouldn't say it hurts, but it's rough. It bangs you up a little bit. I think my fiance or either my sister still has a bruise on their leg. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. After that, we got some food at the little sports bar. I can't remember what it's called. It's not Primo's Pizzeria. It's a different one. We all just got some food there. After that, we all, fueled up and re-energized, dehydrated ourselves. Then we went and rode the train. Broke down, actually. The train broke down while we were on it. We were back into the park, I think, back behind... It would have been, back behind the boss, I believe. We're, way in the back of the park. And we going over, the one very small hill or, small bridge, and it breaks down. And it can't make it. So they try reversing it, going back forward. They can't do it. Try it again. Finally, they go back a little further, and they finally were able to push through where it got stuck. Sorry, guys. This ride, it does this every now and then. It's 50 years old, so just give us a few moments. So then we get to, this was actually one of those trains where there's 2 different stops or 2 different places you can get on it. So we were just going to get off at the first stop because we were sitting there for like 10-15 minutes while they attended to the ride. Ended up getting it working. We rode it back to where we got on it, up near the front of the park. After we got off of that, it was literally right there. We ran over and rode River King Mine Train. Really funny ride-ups there. Wish I got their names. Really fun ride for a mine train, honestly. It's only like maybe the second or third mine train I've done. But I did not expect that drop, that big, huge, sudden drop in the tunnel. It's not a huge drop, but you know, when you're pitch dark and it's a mine train, you don't expect to dive there right in the middle of the tunnel. So that was pretty interesting. That was a fun ride. I'd probably give that one a solid 5 or 6 out of 10 as well. The boss, I'd probably go back to that. I'd probably give that a 4 out of 10. Again, it wasn't a horrible ride. I didn't hate it. It's just rough. It just beats the shit out of you. So after River King Mine Train, my sister was actually getting ready to hit her 100th credit, because she has been to a couple different places that I haven't been. She's been to Dollywood, which is where she got me this shirt. She's been to Carowinds. She's been to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. She made it over to Six Flags America a couple years ago, but they're now closed down. I think those are the only ones that she's been to that I haven't. So, but I've been to Universal and she hasn't. So yeah, I think that's the only one I have been to that she hasn't. But yeah, so yeah, we went over and rode Batman the Ride. That's a lot of fun. So my sister got to ride a really good one for her 100th. So really fun. So her 100th, my 80th. She started the day at 96 or 94. So yeah, she started the day at 94. I started the day at 74. So that being our 6th ride, she made that her 100th. That was my 80th. And then we finished the day on both American Thunder, the Batman the Ride, by the way. I'll give that probably an 8 out of 10 as well. Really fun ride. I know it's a clone. We could have rode the original at Six Flags Great America when my sister and I went last year. But again, it was just way too long of a wait. It was kind of late in the day. And again, another one, we had another 3-hour car ride back to her house at her college from there. So we left that early. But anyways, yeah, Batman, really good ride. I'll probably give that an 8 out of 10. Because the original is at Great America, but we didn't ride it. And then we finished the day on American Thunder. Really fun. That one was really good. I really like that one. Again, not the greatest. And I know it's smaller. It's, you know, it's kind of kiddie. Probably more considered like a kiddie family or a family thrill. But I thought it was really good. A really good wooden coaster. Really good. I'd probably give that one a good 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. And then finish the day way in the back of the park at Screaming Eagle. Again, a fun ride, a little rough, but not nearly as rough as the boss. I mean, at this point, I think anything is going to be less rough than the boss. So yeah, we did that, and we finished on Screaming Eagle, and then ended our day. Well, you know, got some merch. I would show you, but again, that's also in the wash. But yeah, so I ended my day with getting 8 credits. We did not ride Ninja, and we did not ride Boomerang. We knew from the start, we're not going to waste our time on the Boomerang, even if there's no wait. We've ridden one. I really don't feel like riding another one. So I've ridden the one at Six Flags Darien Lake, and I did not like it, and neither did my sister. So we were not gonna drag my fiance on that just to get another credit. And then Ninja, it was broken down half the day. It was open and closed, pretty much all the way throughout the day. I think being close to it all day, I think I saw maybe 5 trains go the whole day. So either the park was that dead and really nobody likes it and nobody was riding it. And I know for a fact it was not open to start the day because we pulled up, as we were pulling up and walking in, I did not see a single train go. So again, unless it's literally hated that much, I know coaster enthusiasts like, I think Airtime Thrills did, Coaster Studios, who have ridden, you know, 14, 15, 100 coasters, still have that in their 10 worst that they've ever ridden. So that says something for sure. Yeah, so we did not ride Ninja, and we did not ride Boomerang. So we got 8 of the 10 possible credits there, bringing my coaster count up to 82. So yeah, I definitely do have a top 10. If you guys eventually, if you like this kind of content, we're already kind of getting into the off season here. You know, obviously the Penguins are done. The OHL is just about wrapping up here, so there's really not a whole lot going on in the hockey world right now. So this is kind of the first glance of off-season footage or off-season ideas that we have, that I have for at least this series. And again, if you guys would like to see us expand and do a little bit more kind of different off-season content, we are really trying to be grinding the off-season content here. At least YouTube-wise, obviously podcast is going to be on the pause while there's no hockey going on. But off-season content-wise, we have a lot of ideas and a lot of things we'd like to give out to you guys, and a lot of things, other interests of ours that we would like to get out there. This being one of mine, coasters in general. If you guys would like in the future, maybe next week I can do my favorite parks that I've been to, or I can talk about a different trip that I've done. I can give you my top 10, maybe my bottom 10. Whatever you guys would like to see. If you guys would like to see me talk more about coasters, leave it down in the comments, leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, after we left Six Flags St. Louis, we just drove back up to my my sister's place. Actually went to Chili's for the first time, right about 10 minutes from where she lives. So first time I ever went to Chili's. This, of course, I had to get the Triple Dipper. Your first ever visit at Chili's, you got to get the Triple Dipper. You got the mozzarella sticks, the Chipotle honey chicken crispers, and the buffalo boneless wings were actually kind of gross. They were not very good, but the other two things I devoured. Yeah, so then Saturday was the 9-hour trek home. We left at 8:30ish, went to breakfast, stopped and got coffee, and then started making the way home. A couple of stops here and there, including a stop at Buc-ee's, which a 30-minute trip or stop ended up being almost an hour. It took us almost a half an hour to find a parking spot, because there's the new one over in Huber Heights, Ohio, which was packed, absolutely jam-packed. Took forever to even find a parking spot, took forever to even get to a gas pump. And then we went into the building to go to the bathroom, and it was there's no point on trying to make our way around here to look around, so we'll have to make a stop at a different time. So yeah, didn't end up getting home until about 8 o'clock Saturday night. Even with the hour difference, almost 12 hours to get home. So yeah, that was my trip I went on this past weekend, or weekend, left Wednesday, came back Saturday, so not really the weekend, but yeah, that was my little trip. Again, I was going to vlog, but I wasn't just going to shove a camera in my family's face, so out of respect for them, I didn't. So I figured, hey, maybe I'll just make it What the Buck Wednesday and just talk about it. So yeah, maybe if I go on the next trip here, maybe you guys would like to see that. Maybe I'll talk to the family, see if they want to be on here. Yeah, because I think we might be going back to Hershey here soon, so that's a spoiler for a possible top 10 coaster of mine. You can possibly guess which one. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you would like to see me talk about in next week's What the Buck Wednesday. Again, I do have other interests other than hockey, guys, so I'd love to talk about just about anything else. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.